Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NORHAZLEENDA binti HAMID. I will present about background of Post Malaysia. Post Malaysia traced its root to the yearly 1800 when postal service were first introduced in the Strait Settlement of Penang, Singapore and Malacca. Post Malaysia Berhad is government-trusted brand in Malaysia. In 1957, Post Service Department was established as a government agency after independence of Malaysia. In 1992, the Postal Service Department was corporate as a Post Malaysia and have listed in Bursa Malaysia on 2001.
Assalamualaikum, my name is ALISSA ILYANA and I will explain about GDEX company background. GDEX has established in 1997. Two core businesses are the delivery of conventional consignments for direct customers and logistics solutions for corporate customers. GDEX Express has spanning over 150 stations in Malaysia, Vietnam and Singapore. Moreover, GDEX is listed on the main board of Bursa Malaysia with three main operating segments, namely express delivery, property investment and logistics. GDEX has focused on the delivery of reliable and high quality service above all. Furthermore, some of GDEX development are easy to pick up. For instance, it recently completed the acquisition of the land and property used for its operating headquarters and logistic hub, an estimated total of 200,000 square feet.
Hi, my name is IZZATI and I will continue with liquid ratio. Liquid ratio refers to the ability of a company to pay its short-term obligation using current assets such as cash or assets that can be easily converted into cash. In this assignment, we choose two types of ratio, which is current ratio and liquid ratio. Let's go through one by one. First, current ratio. Current ratio used to measure the company's ability to pay its short-term liability such as short-term loans and account payable using illiquid fund. From the result of our finding, GDEX Berhad showed a higher current ratio than Post Malaysia Berhad. As we can see in the table, in 2016, Post Malaysia Berhad showed 1.63 times, while for GDEX Berhad it shows 14.61 times. And in 2017, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.34 times and GDEX Berhad recorded 14.15 times. And in 2016, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.23 times and GDEX Berhad recorded 10.16 times. In 2019, as we can see in the table, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.12 times, while GDEX Berhad recorded 7.59 times. Last one, in 2020, Malaysia Berhad recorded 0.94 times, while for GDEX Berhad recorded 4.74 times. From what we can see, GDEX Berhad were more liquid and able to pay their short-term loan because their current ratio are more than 1, while for Post Malaysia Berhad, they are also able to pay their short-term liability, but not in 2020 because their current ratio is less than 1. Now, we're moving to the next liquidity ratio, which is quick ratio. Quick ratio used to measure the company's ability to pay short-term obligation without relying on leased liquid asset. Quick ratio consider only cash and current asset that can easily be converted into cash, for example, marketable securities. From the result of our finding, GDEX Berhad showed a higher liquid ratio than Post Malaysia Berhad. As we can see on the table, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.61 times in 2016 and GDEX Berhad recorded 40.56 in 2016. Next, in 2017, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.33 times and GDEX Berhad recorded 40.10 times. And next, 2018, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.22 times and GDEX Berhad recorded 10.13 times. And next, in 2019, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 1.11 times, and GDEX Berhad recorded 7.56 times. And the last one, in 2020, Post Malaysia Berhad recorded 0.93, and for the GDEX Berhad recorded 4.72. From what we can see, GDEX Berhad were more liquid and able to pay their short-term loan because their quick ratio are more than 1. While for Post Malaysia Berhad, they are also able to pay their short-term liability, but not into 2020 because their current ratio is less than 1. That's all for me. I will pass the turn to our next member.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NORHAZLEENDA binti HAMID. I will explain about one of the activity ratio in the assignment. It is account receivable turnover. Account receivable turnover is to measure the company ability to collect debts or credit sales from customer. The highest of account receivable turnover means the better or more effective the company in collecting debts from customer, while the lower of account receivable turnover, that means there is not effective for that company in collecting debt from customer. According to the table and the graph, it shows that GD Express Sdn Bhd has better in account receivable turnover for 5 years from 2009, 2016 until 2020 compared to Post Malaysia Berhad that has a lower of account receivable turnover.
So now I'm going to talk about average collection period (ACP). Average collection period, or in short form ACP, is a measurement to know the average days taken by the company to collect sales or account receivable, and the shorter the average collection period, the better as the company is able to collect the debts within short period. In comparison to Post Malaysia and Services, GD Express Berhad has a greater average collection period ratio. It shows that GD Express Berhad have a better collection of debts, which means that the company collect payment faster within a short period. Besides that, GD Express Sdn Bhd has a lower ratio on their average collection period compared to Post Malaysia and Services. A higher ratio of Post Malaysia and Service ACP indicates that their customer may no longer intend to pay or unable to pay, and that means their business have a poor communication with customer regarding the debts and expectation of payment. Post Malaysia and Services can improve the average collection period by taking a strict bill collection step to minimize risk and increase payment expectation. For example, offer discount for early payment and fees for late payment. Thank you, that's all from me.
What is leverage ratio? A leverage ratio is any one of several financial measurements that look at how much capital comes in the form of debt or assesses the ability of a company to meet its financial obligation. The debt ratio is a financial ratio that measures the extent of a company leverage. It is defined as the ratio that calculates the percentage of total assets that are financed by debt. That ratio indicates the amount of debt in the company financial structure. The higher the debt ratio, the higher is the company risk. According to the graph, the debt ratio for Post Malaysia Berhad is higher compared to GDX Berhad. 2022 recorded the higher debt ratio, which is 63.93% between 2016 to 2020. It means that Post Malaysia Berhad has taken on a large amount of risk in their business.
Next is the debt to equity ratio. It is a leverage ratio that evaluates the number of total debts or total liabilities utilized relative to the capital provided by the company's owners. The ability of shareholder equity to encash all the outstanding debts during the business downturn. The ratio will reflect how a company's capital structure leans towards debt or equity finance. The higher debt to equity ratio in the company often resulted from the company in the higher risk. This means that companies are actively funding growth with debt. Based on the graph, GDEX Berhad has a higher debt to equity ratio, recorded at 12.35%, than post-Malaysia Berhad, recorded at 4.76% in 2016. However, post-Malaysia Berhad has recorded a higher debt to equity ratio than GDEX Berhad from 2017 to 2020. It indicates that post-Malaysia Berhad is a higher potential risk because the company is dependent on borrowing, making the level of debt too high. The continued declines in profits can lead to financial difficulties and bankruptcy in post-Malaysia Berhad. The low debt to equity ratio for GDEX Berhad from 2017 to 2019 shows that the company has a lower risk of bankruptcy than post-Malaysia Berhad. It illustrates the ability of the company to reduce its debts and be profitable enough to meet its obligations.
Profitability ratio assesses a company's ability to earn profit from its sale or operation, balance sheet asset, or shareholder equity. Profitability ratio indicates how efficiently a company generates profit and value for shareholders. The return on asset for GDEX Express show that the company did a great job in generating net profit using total asset, while for post-Malaysia Berhad, graph indicates that the company might over-invested in total asset that they are failed to gain net profit.
Assalamualaikum, my name is FARHAH BT.IDRIS. So, the next point is return on equity. Return on equity is a measure of the company ability and effectiveness to use its total equity in generating net profit using total equity. Based on the graph, it shows that return on equity of GDS is higher than post-Malaysia Berhad. Between 2016 to 2020, GDS record its higher return on equity with 8.90% in 2016. So, we can conclude that GDS company use its total equity more effective in generating net profit compared to post-Malaysia Berhad. In conclusion, return on asset and return on equity of profitability ratio for GDS has better result compared to post-Malaysia Berhad. This is because GDS use their asset and equity effective to generating net profit. That's it from me. Thank you.